First on 11 Alive.
Everybody's just been real shaken, scared.
Strong storms, which included at least one tornado, barrel through our area overnight, uprooting trees, leveling homes.
We have not even begun to see the full extent of that damage.
Lasting for much of this Sunday morning.
We've got another wave of really strong storms moving into the LaGrange area.
And the recovery is underway.
Stand assured that we're doing everything we can to make sure that the public's safe.
The latest on this powerful punch from Mother Nature starts right now.
11 Alive News at 11 p.m. starts now.
And welcome, everyone. I'm Jeff Hullinger. Tonight, the skies over Georgia remain our top story as an active weather pattern has caused plenty of damage in parts of the 11 Alive viewing area in North Georgia, and it is still active right now. We have team coverage for you. We start by getting the very latest on this new round of rain. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, and meteorologist Nicole Hartford are front and center.
Yeah, Jeff, we have been dealing with severe thunderstorms throughout the evening hours that have been producing some large hail, also some strong winds. And then the bigger threat right now is the very heavy rain that's moving through our area. And we have even more rain that's going to be coming in. So this heavy rain's coming in on spots that have already experienced a significant rainfall from earlier today. And we'll zoom in here closer to the city. You'll be able to see this green polygon right here. Many of you in the city may have had the emergency alert system on your phones go off a little while ago. That was because of this flood warning, flash flood warning that is in effect. That includes much of the downtown area. It goes down into South Fulton County, northern parts of Clayton County, extending up into Gwinnett County, Clayton, DeKalb, Fulton, and also Gwinnett County. This is a flash flood warning in effect until 4:30 in the morning. Significant rain. We have had reports of some water rescues and some ramps on the connector and on 85 that have been flooded from all of the heavy rain that's moving through. We also continue to watch that moderate to heavy rain continue to move up toward the north. Now, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning that just expired in parts of Hall County and also into Banks County. They have not issued a new one here in those areas, but still some really heavy rain up around Gainesville to Jefferson to Commerce there in Banks County. That's moving up toward the north and east. Very heavy rain, plenty of thunder and lightning with that. And then elsewhere, as you can see what we're watching here, also down to this west of us, back into Alabama, stretching on up into Noonan, additional very heavy rain coming in. I want to take you live right now to our Storm Tracker Thunder Truck. This is right there near the Buford Highway connector, moving down onto 85, where you can see the heavy rain that is still moving through that area right now. And again, we've had some sporadic reports of some ponding on the road, some cars that have stalled out in some of this water on the roadway. Another tower cam that I want to show you right now is in Noonan, where we see very heavy rain coming down right now in the Noonan area. Of course, dark there. We have some thunder and lightning with this in those spots as well. Nicole Hartford joins us right now. Nicole, what I'm really concerned about tonight is all of this rain, all the water, the flood threat that we have. And of course, it's very dark, and we're advising people, if you're out tonight and you see water on the road that's covering the road, don't drive through it. You just don't know if the road underneath is washed out.
That's right. In addition to all the heavy rainfall that we've seen, we're leading to a lot of flooding issues, especially across the Atlanta metro area with all the water. And there's still more to come. So we have that flash flood warning for the Atlanta metro area, but there's also a flood watch that will remain in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for portions of the state down towards the south of I-20 and then also out towards Athens. This means that with heavier rainfall and with additional accumulation, we could see more flooding issues develop. So if you are going to be out on the roads late tonight, early tomorrow morning, especially while it's still dark, you need to drive slow. It's harder to see if there's standing water at nighttime, and just make sure you don't drive through any of it. We have that flood risk, which is turning into our primary concern, but there's still the possibility of some strong to severe thunderstorms. So there is also a severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect for the Atlanta metro area, portions of our region that will be in effect until 1 o'clock this morning. So just a couple more hours left on that severe thunderstorm watch. Chris.
And Nicole, folks are going to be hearing the rain on their roof for a big part of the nighttime hours tonight as those additional waves of rain come in from Alabama. Stay with us. We're going to keep tracking those waves pushing through. We'll have much more for you as to whether or not this will linger into tomorrow morning. Jeff, you know, it's been a long day today. That first wave of rain came in early this morning that gave us that confirmed tornado and a lot of damage south and west of the city.
We appreciate all the coverage that you have given us. You've had a very long day into tonight, and we will be checking in with you in a couple of minutes. Earlier today, storms hammered counties south of Metro Atlanta. Right now, we know of at least one tornado which touched down today. That was in Troup County near the Georgia-Alabama state line. About 100 buildings were damaged, with at least 30 uninhabitable. So far, there have been 5 reported injuries, all minor, no fatalities. And tonight, Governor Kemp has issued a state of emergency, opening up additional resources needed for the recovery and cleanup efforts. And we have just learned that the governor will be touring damage tomorrow in Milledgeville and West Point. Today's steady rain enveloped those in Troup and Meriwether counties who took on damage from this morning's tornado. 11 Alive's Karis Belger was in West Point talking with people there upended by these powerful storms once again.
It literally sounded like a train coming through.
This is all that's left of the motel Divyesh Patel says his family owned for the last 50 years.
I actually pinched myself 2 or 3 times to make sure I was not dreaming, because I would never have thought of that this would be happening to us.
A strong tornado touched down on West Point Road in Troup County early Sunday morning, ripping trees up by the root and decimating buildings, including this church. Patel says it was still dark when he and his wife were forced to shelter in their young daughter's bathroom to wait out the storm.
A whole bunch of debris, glass shattering and everything.
As the sun rose, families attempted to assess the damage, trying to make sense of what they called a morning of chaos. Multiple rain showers throughout the morning meant recovery had a slow start.
I know it's a very frustrating time for the people of West Point, Troup County, LaGrange. This is the 3rd tornado we've had in a 2-month span.
Authorities estimate between 80 and 100 homes were damaged during the storm, with close to 30 of those homes, like this one, being a complete loss. Power crews spent hours trying to restore electricity to those homes that were still standing.
We're doing everything we can to make sure that the public's safe, continuing our response to this.
Meanwhile, Divyesh says he's hoping to reopen his family business, but he's thankful he and his loved ones are safe. In Troup County, Karis Belger, 11 Alive News.
And today we received plenty of images from the storm and its aftermath. Scott May shared what the damage looked like from his vantage point. It was just east of I-85 heading toward Warm Springs. Meanwhile, over in Pike County, Kelly Lorraine saw her front lawn inundated. We want to see your weather pictures, your wow moments, and the easiest way to share them is on the 11 Alive Storm Trackers Facebook group. It is a great way to interact with our team of meteorologists and get your photos and videos on the air. Staying safe when severe weather hits, always important, but in Troup County, it also came with watching out for escaped tigers. The 2 tigers broke out of the wild animal safari just outside of town of Pine Mountain. And the Troup County Sheriff's Office says it got the report about the tigers being on the loose, but still inside the park. Deputies eventually were able to track down the big cats and tranquilize them. No one was hurt. The tigers were returned to a secure enclosure. Earlier today, the Chief Marshal for the Troup County Sheriff's Office described how those wild giant animals broke free.
The tornado hit Animal Park, Wild Animal Park, and it hit it hard. There's trees everywhere, structures completely demolished, fences down. Damage is pretty intense, and that's how most of them just got out.
Further east, the storm damage continued and even pinned some people inside of their damaged homes. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates continues our team coverage tonight.
The strong storms came through Meriwether County, toppling trees and destroying homes. In fact, this roof used to be on that house.
All of a sudden, everything just hit us. I mean, it wasn't no warning, just loud noise. You could hear the wind. It was strong.
Bobby Jeff Williams says he and his family are lucky to be alive after the powerful storms ripped through their property. His wife Dawn walked us through the damage.
The pop-up camper, it's totaled. This was halfway up on top of the house, and the boys had to bring it down.
And the carport wasn't the only thing damaged.
That's a building. It's supposed to be flipped this way.
All over the property, things were tossed and destroyed. This trailer even landed on a car.
It flipped up. The tongue of the trailer hit my car on the hood, completely crushed the A-pillar, shattered the window, busted the windshield, and yeah, we ain't gonna be able to fix that one.
Jacob Williams says his 1991 Geostorm is no longer in production, so he won't be able to have it repaired. Multiple large trees also fell, one on another car, even the house. And the Williams family is not alone.
It has not been confirmed yet through the National Weather Service, but either a tornado or some kind of straight line wind event. We have approximately 5 to 6 homes that are completely destroyed and more that are either moderately or majorly damaged.
Meriwether County Emergency Manager Brim Jones says some residents were also trapped for a short period of time, but luckily there are no reported injuries. In the meantime, Bobby Jeff has advice for others.
Don't take it lightly when they send these alarms and things out. When it comes, it comes. It's not going to say, hey, I'm almost here, let you know. It just happens.
Again, Meriwether County officials say there were no injuries, luckily, but they say this cleanup will take some time. Bobeth Yates, 11 Alive News.
And tonight we learned that schools in both Troup and Meriwether County schools will remain closed tomorrow on Monday. While Georgians begin to rebuild after today's storms, people in Mississippi spent a second straight day recovering from a massive tornado strike. Tonight, the death toll in that state now stands at 25. Search and rescue crews resumed the task of digging through flattened and battered buildings after hundreds of people were displaced, particularly in the badly damaged community of Rolling Fork. Earlier today, Mississippi's governor assessed the damage and tried to tell those living in his state that help is on the way.
What we've seen over the last 36 hours in Mississippi, on the one hand, has been heartbreaking to see the loss and devastation of these communities, but on the other hand, has been inspiring and gives me great reason for optimism, and quite frankly, makes me damn proud to be a Mississippian.
Earlier today, President Biden issued an emergency declaration for Mississippi, making federal funding available to the hardest hit areas. As always, make sure you stay with us. Weather aware by staying connected to the 11 Alive News app. If you don't have it, all you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you to the App Store to download our app for free, and then you can turn on weather alerts for your neighborhood. We have more coming your way. When we return, we will hear how people wager on whether a bill to make sports betting legal in Georgia has a chance to become law. New and sad details tonight on a story we first broke for you last night at 11 o'clock. This morning, the body of a 4-year-old boy was found and recovered from the Yellow River. The search resumed today in Stone Mountain for the child. He was reported missing by his mother when they were both at the park near the river. This morning, the search resumed despite the heavy rainfall. The body was found before 11 a.m. and Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services confirmed that it matched the description the boy's mother had given them last night.
Right now, we're just asking that people pray for the family, pray for the safety of all rescuers.
The body of the little boy was turned over to the Gwinnett County Medical Examiner's Office for an autopsy. Wednesday is Sunny Die Day, the last time for the state legislature to meet during this session, and it is always an interesting period trying to figure out which direction will the legislators go. And over the next 72 hours, there will be one more push to bring sports betting to Georgia. How will that turn out? 11 Alive's Teresa Bowles talked to some sports fans outside of State Farm Arena tonight to see if they'd bet on it passing or failing. I have a sense of where they're going with this.
Yeah, a little bit on the fence. Some of them agree. Fans I talked to who already enjoy gambling would like to see this for our state, while a few others are not ready to go all in.
I use Prize Picks. It's an app. Yeah, I like it. You win money.
Georgia sports fans are already betting on sports.
Not, too much money or anything like that, but it's a fun thing to be able to gamble and, put something on your teams or against your teams. If you're Atlanta sports team, you can win betting against your team.
The state just isn't collecting any revenue from it, but that could change. Georgia lawmakers are making another pitch for sports gambling in our state this week. The bill would legalize betting without changing the Constitution, which would make things easier for Kasai Graham.
That would mean a lot to me. You don't have to worry about police, jail.
However, this bill has been shot down every year in the General Assembly. Mbaye Njai is trying to figure out why.
I just think it's that old feelings towards gambling and prohibition. It's the same thing, I think, with the argument with cannabis legalization.
I'm not so hardwired that I don't open myself up to new ideas and new ways, where when I grew up, that was just a no-no. You didn't bet on sports.
Though Kenneth Braswell believes the potential bill could be of great benefit to Atlanta, he points out a few hang-ups.
My concern is not so much for the people who understand how to responsibly bet on sports, but those who are actually attached to things and they're addicted to it, and it's having an impact on their household, impact on their families.
The bill shows the tax will be used for educational purposes via the Georgia lottery. This keeps lawmakers from amending the Constitution.
Make the money and let's fix our schools, which we don't have enough money for.
The bill only needs a majority of both chambers and Governor Kemp's signature. However, history shows its odds of actually becoming a law is a long shot.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Now on to our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, and meteorologist Nicole Hartford, who are busy. I hear the thunder overhead right now in Midtown.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty noisy night out there. We're going to be hearing thunder. You may see some flashes of lightning out your window, and you're still going to be experiencing some heavy rain on your roof tonight while you are sleeping. We've had some impressive areas of rain move through Atlanta already. That's pushed up toward the north and east, but more rain coming in from the south and the west. And with all this heavy rain that has been pushing through, it has prompted this flash flood warning that is in effect right through the heart of Atlanta. It goes down over on the west side into parts of South Fulton, including near the Douglas County area. That includes parts of northern Clayton County, also DeKalb County, into Gwinnett County. These areas have picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain, and then additional rain coming in tonight. Take a look. This is a look at the 24-hour rain totals. You can see here about 2 inches to the south and west of us, 2 inches here on the north side, North DeKalb in central Fulton County, and then up near Sugar Hill in the Beaufort area, 2.3 inches of rain has fallen there. There's even more rain that has fallen here on the south side. Let's widen out a little bit and we'll show you what we've got going on right now with that heavier rain here still coming in over parts of Coweta County right now as these heavier showers with a lot of thunder and lightning. These are the spots on the south side that have already had plenty of rain this morning with 2 to 3 inches, and now more of that coming in. And Nicole, that is going to be our concern during the rest of the nighttime hours tonight. It is dark out there, and we definitely advise people with that water, if it's covering up a roadway, don't drive through it. You just don't know if the roadway is washed out underneath it.
Exactly. And we've had a lot of reports that have come in throughout downtown Atlanta that are either of people getting stranded in the water or even, yes, some roads that have been washed out from this rainfall. So as we move into the overnight and we continue seeing this very heavy rain, we'll also watch as our flood threat increases. We've also been monitoring that risk for severe storms throughout the last few hours and really the entire day today. And the most prominent threat for severe weather still remains down towards our south and our west. Much of the Atlanta metro area is included in that level 1 risk, and then the level 2 down towards the south. But into portions of Troup and Meriwether County, they've now extended that level 3 risk across those counties as well. So our far southern areas, and we could see storms still produce gusty winds as well as some hail. That tornado threat remains low, but some isolated spin-ups certainly are possible into the overnight hours. So here it is hour by hour. We'll keep that widespread rain in the forecast through the next couple of hours. And that is bad news when it comes to that flood risk with a lot of rain accumulation expected. This will be sinking slowly down towards the south. And showers and storms will likely start to get a little bit more isolated, not quite as widespread as we near the sunrise tomorrow. But it is very possible there are still isolated showers and storms ongoing as we get towards the morning commute. So I would think ahead, give yourself a little extra time tomorrow morning just in case you need it, and be prepared. There could still be some lasting flooding issues as well. That rain will move off towards the southeast and we will clear out during the day on Monday. We'll return even to a little bit of sunshine. So high temperatures will manage to get up into the mid to even the upper 70s. We'll keep a low end rain chance in the forecast for a few isolated showers on Tuesday, but otherwise we dry out as we move into this upcoming week. We'll get a couple really nice days before rain chances are back in the forecast as we move into next weekend. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We had ourselves a marquee matchup at State Farm Arena tonight. Ja Morant versus Trae Young, two of the brightest stars in the NBA, a matchup we've been really waiting for all season long. Trae is back after getting ejected in the third quarter of their win over the Pacers on Saturday. For a team that is flirting with 500 every single game down the stretch is super important. And the Stars were out tonight at State Farm Arena for Ja versus Trae. Look at Gucci Mane. What up, baby? Second quarter action, though, as Ja Morant back in the starting lineup for this Memphis team. He does everything so well. A little reverse bucket there. He led the way for Memphis with 27 points. We'll pick this game up a little bit later. Third quarter, Hawks had something going. Trae Young with the jumper from 3. You can't give him that much space. Knocks it down. A few minutes later, an interesting offensive sequence. Clint Capella doing his best Trae Young impression. Dishing it to Trae, who's wide open once again. You know he's going to knock it down. 3 of his 28 points. Saddiq Bey off the bench doing his part again. He's a really good player, really good trade asset for this team as they got him at the trade deadline. But Desmond Bane and the Grizz really had too many answers all night long. 123-119 Memphis win. Hawks are back under 500 again in Memphis. That's their 6th straight win.
We're just looking for consistency defensively and keep chipping away at it. And, you know, again, our offense, if we don't take care of the ball, which, you know, that's one thing. We've talked about the live ball turnovers, but when we have people driving to the hole and going to the basket, you know, it's really tough to defend when our floor balance changes like that.
All right, let's talk some baseball. Spencer Strider made his final start of spring training on Sunday for the Braves. He's scheduled to be on the bump in Atlanta's second game of the season on next Friday. Looking to build off, this Friday, looking to build off a fantastic year one. Today, 4 scoreless innings versus the Pirates with 4 strikeouts. Now, as for the rest of the game, it looks like Michael Harris II could swing it right-handed if he really wanted to. How cool is that in BP? Austin Riley, though, not messing around in the actual game. How about an opposite field bomb for the righty? Then a little bit later in this game, Eddie Rosario returning back from back soreness that held him out on Saturday. The back looking pretty good here. Oh, man. He's hoping to have another big year. Braves win 8-1 the final. By the way, congrats to former Sprayberry star Flau'jae Johnson, the SEC Freshman of the Year. Is headed to the Final Four after LSU beat Miami tonight. That's a go Tigers. We'll be right back.
Widespread showers and storms are still ongoing. This poses a severe weather threat as well as a flood risk. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Clayton, Coweta, Fayette, and Henry counties, as well as that flood warning in effect across the Atlanta metro. This is going to be ongoing overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning, and then the rain will clear out throughout the day on Monday.
And we'll be watching it very closely all night.
We will.
4:30 is the first news. Chesley will have your update then. Have a great, safe night, everyone.